A 27-year police veteran has been fired from Cobb County, Georgia, after he was caught on dash cam surveillance saying something that should shock and upset most Americans. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but before we go to the video showing what he said, let me give you some context. He apparently pulled over a female driver for a routine traffic stop. There was some sort of traffic violation, and apparently the woman was afraid to move her hands or put her hands down because she was fearful that any sudden movement would result in her getting shot. Now, his reaction to her refusing to do as he said is what eventually got him fired. Take a look.
I can't call them if you don't open the door.
Why can't you?
Because I will not put my...
Use your phone. It's in your lap right there.
I just don't want to put my hands down. I'm really sorry.
You just did it wrong.
No. I've just seen way too many videos of cops.
But you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people. Yeah, we only kill black people, right? All the videos you've seen, have you seen white people get killed? You have.
I've seen an 18-year-old white boy get hit 23 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that you're
Right.
So the cop in the video is, or was, Police Lieutenant Greg Abbott. That's his name, which is kind of amazing. And he has been fired, and that's according to the police chief in Cobb County, who gave a press conference today. And he did have some strong words for him as well. Now, first, let's go to the police officer's lawyer, who claims, quote, he was attempting to de-escalate a situation involving an uncooperative passenger. In context, his comments were clearly aimed at attempting to gain compliance by using the passenger's own statements and reasoning to avoid making an arrest. However, Mike Register, who is the police chief in Cobb County, disagrees. He said no matter what context it was said, it shouldn't have been said. And again, Abbott, a 27-year veteran of the police department, will be removed from the force, and that's according to Mike Register, who is the police chief in the area.
Well, if you believe in respecting the police, I'm positive you're going to respect the decision of the police chief that this man should be fired. So, first of all, I don't know what's in Abbott's head. I don't know if he was saying that just straightforward. Yeah, that's what we do. We shoot black people. Why would we shoot you? Or if he meant it as, like, you saw the videos online, or you saw the videos, those are the ones that are claiming we only shoot black people. So what are you worried about? You only saw black people getting shot, right? So he might have meant it that way. That's why the police chief doing what he did is a huge indicator. Because now it might be that he was like, this is not, one, if you're being the most generous to Abbott, you might say the police chief was like, this is bad PR, I don't want to deal with it. Okay. Another possibility is, look, even if the guy didn't mean it that way, we can't have people in this county thinking that we are going to apply justice differently to different races and have this idea out there that there are cops who think, no, don't worry, if you're white, you're fine, but black people we will shoot. And the third possibility is that he talked to Abbott and he was like, oh, this is a bad dude. And he did mean it, and I got to get rid of him. Right. So he didn't give exact reasons other than what Anna just read to you, but the fact that he did take that action is clearly indicative.
Right, I mean, look, none of us can say for certain what's in that police lieutenant's head as he's making those statements. Some have argued that he was just being sarcastic, but those are not the type of statements you make considering the type of climate that we're living in right now, considering the type of debates that are going on in the country regarding police violence and excessive force. And so it was a bad move on his part. But I think there's another component to that video that should concern you, and I think it's telling to say the least. So the woman who was pulled over for that traffic stop was a white woman, and she was fearful of the cop. She did not trust the cop. She was worried that he wasn't there to protect her or to protect and serve. And so think about that type of climate that exists in the United States, where the people that we hire as police officers that we pay with our taxpayer money are individuals that are no longer trusted because of what we're seeing in the media, because of what we're seeing with all of these police shootings where unarmed people get gunned down. So I would be afraid as well, right? And so that's something that everyone should take into consideration. If we want the feelings toward cops to change, then obviously the training needs to change, the type of rhetoric we hear from cops needs to change. There needs to be an entire reform for things to change.
Yeah, look, it's possible that she had been doing something wrong, speeding, drinking, driving. We don't know that context, but the context overall for the country is one that Anna just described, and it's not. Look, it is disproportionately African Americans, as the stats bear out. But do white people get shot by cops for having a slight wrong reaction in a nanosecond? Well, of course we know that happens. In Minnesota, that mom got shot when she called for help from the cops, a white woman there. You had the white guy in Miami, you had the white guy that came out of a car after he was on a high-speed chase. I mean, of course, white unarmed people also get shot. And it's for the 100th time in a row, it's the training where we've told the cops, if you're even 1% afraid of anything, if they move their hands up or down, put them down. So now we're all jittery. Anytime you get pulled over by a cop and he gives you directions on what to do with your hands, there is some reasonable fear of what might happen next. And the way to allay that fear is not to tell her, don't worry, we only shoot black people. At a minimum, that is incredibly poor judgment. TYT membership gets you commercial-free Young Turks. Download it, stream it, podcast it, get all the network shows, and support independent media. TYTnetwork.com/join.